An English garden in the spring is a good time to be thinking about growth. It's all around us, the growth that God gives. I hope as you watch this film, you'll see that God is giving growth wherever you look in this diocese, in our schools, in our parishes, growth in our confidence, growth in our conviction about our faith. And I want to tell you, growth in numbers. This relatively small diocese is the second fastest growing diocese in the country at the moment. There is so much to be thankful for. But I want to say to you that the one thing that has not grown in recent years is our capacity to support the diocese's life and mission with our giving. We need to think and pray about that carefully. I hope you will watch this film and reflect on whether there is something you can do to ensure that this growth, which is so important for the people of our communities, is secure and continues in the years ahead.
Where does the money go? Here it is, the Diocese of Leicester, stretching from Bosworth to Bottisford and Kilworth to Kegworth. The city lies in the middle, surrounded by largely rural populations and market towns. We represent more than 300 parishes, serving nearly 1 million people. This is the big picture of us together, being and sharing the good news of Jesus Christ, deepening discipleship and serving those who need us. Last month, more than 22,000 people worshipped in our churches, and over 21,000 children are taught in our 97 church schools and academies. We can be really proud to be part of this. You are part of this big picture. Because of your parish and the work you do, we are able, together, to be present in every community. And not just in bricks and mortar, but in people. Some of these key people are our clergy, around 140 of them paid for centrally, as well as around 260 volunteer clergy and licensed lay ministers. It's by having these people working alongside others in each community that we can make a difference right across our diocese. But how do we pay for this big picture? It costs some serious money, about £8 million a year. And where does this money come from? It's tempting to believe in a sort of magic chequebook, but sadly these don't exist. We get some support from the National Church, but the bulk of the responsibility for funding parish ministry rests with us, all of us, as a diocese. The money to pay for our parish ministry across the diocese is what we raise ourselves. So we've said that it costs about £8 million a year. Let's look at where it does come from. 2/3 of what we have to spend comes from Parish Contribution, the money we share together to work together. The rest is income from investments, property, grants and donations. So simply, the answer to what does Parish Contribution pay for is that it allows us to provide ministers across the diocese. It pays for your vicar and for vicars and curates in parts of our diocese very different from your own. It pays for their wages, their pension, their housing, their training, and it even pays for the training of your next vicar, who you haven't even met yet, but I'm sure is very nice. And this is how we are present and making a difference in parishes all across the Leicester diocese. I know what you're thinking. Where does the rest of the money go? Well, it supports administration of our schools and our chaplaincies. It goes towards the National Church and the running of the central administration that allows us to function as a diocese. Nothing is wasted. And staff of the diocese fulfil an important role supporting parishes through the finance, property and through specialist advisors. You might be surprised to discover just how small each department is. Where possible, this money is raised separately so that everything raised by parishes can go to parishes. Every parish gives to this and every parish receives, which reflects all of us doing this together. Parish Contribution is one of the things that binds us together as a diocesan family. Wherever possible, money from sales of assets is reinvested in parishes through the growth and capital funds, so each church can be directly involved in mission in their area. But what about the big projects the diocese supports? like St Martin's House, Laund Abbey and Cathedral Gardens. Well, the good news is that all of these have been funded by grants from other bodies, donations and fundraising, and not a penny from parish contributions. So we can enjoy the benefits of them without any reduction in the resourcing of parishes like yours. This story plays out all over the diocese, God's people involved in His mission together. Our giving allows us to be present in every community, providing ministry and resourcing our mission. It's worth remembering that generous giving into parish ministry will cause the story to grow, so more is done now and more can be done in the future. So that's how our diocesan finances work. It's a way that we express being one body by doing more together than we could ever do alone. We do this because of our gratitude to God for what He has done for us. It's your continued generosity that makes this possible, so thank you for all that you give towards God's work in our diocese.
My brothers and sisters, what riches we have here. This is all God's gift, and I hope you agree with me, it's transformational. Changing lives, changing communities, nurturing new Christians, building the kingdom. What better challenge could we face? But to continue this work, I have to tell you, we need at least a 3.5% increase in next year's gifts from the parishes just in order to stand still. Any less than that, and we have to shrink this work further. Please pray with me that together we shall rise to this challenge, and thank you so much for all you do.